Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video we are going to make a quite narrative battle where we don't play at all according to any scenario. You will see it's quite going to be quite interesting. Joining me today we have
Zongo
and
Gauthier.
And today we are going to make a little bit 2 versus 1. So Gauthier is going to have more reinforcements. What do you play, Gauthier, today?
Today I'm playing Unlighted, pure
Yeah.
aerial.
Yeah, I think you can see on the camera already, but there is a lot of flyers of the Covenant that are purely, as you can see, in a low level strike all game long. There is a little narrative context for all of this. Zongo, what do you play?
Chrome.
You don't play Imperium anymore.
Yeah.
And I will play not so much. I will play little reinforcements that come little by little. Before anything, we'll start to have a look at the scenario. And as always, and you might have seen our latest video, if you give us a thumbs up, but especially if you give us a little comment, you will gain a chance to win either a crown fleet or an alliance fleet. So 2 winners are going to be elected for this time. So feel free to give us a little comment. It really helps the channel and it helps you to gain fleets. Without further ado, let's have a look at the scenario first and then at the lists. Alright, the scenario is going to be an assault of the Covenant onto the defenses of the Crown. For the narrative context, there was a little discussion between the Crown and a little diplomatic envoy from the Union, from the Task Force Mordred to be specific. And the Enlightened chose this moment to attack. They just went below the radar waves, like just above the wave. As you can see, they don't have their little bases and they will be in low level strike all game long. And they are trying to destroy this important Crown base before the alliance between the Crown's 5th Fleet and the Task Force Mordred can be signed. There will be some Union reinforcement pouring back from around to try to hold this back, but right now, as you can see from the table, the Covenant have the advantage.
For my aerial fleet, I begin the hostilities with 2 Euclid units of 4 units of 4 model each. Both with the intent of rushing toward the enemy lines as fast as we can and devastating any first defenses via the pulse emitter and pulse broadside. On the second line, we have, of course, the flagship where the admiral is located, the Tulle, a devastating heavy ship. Covering his left flank, we have the 2 Adamski, who have a similar route to rush the enemy line and have slightly less armament, but aims to go straight at the center of enemy formation.
They can teleport.
And as they can teleport, something similar to interface generator from the Empire. The two on the center are our Nebo.
The heavy airships, yeah, they are the heavy ones.
Yes, they are the most heavier strike version. They can go very devastating with bombs, with also heavy particle cannons.
Oh, yeah.
And at the right, for flanking the enemy, we have 2 Baltars, which can go slightly faster in normal rules, but since all the units are low level strike, they can still do some damage with their heavy particle cannon. Yeah, those are supposed to be a little bit faster indeed and low level strike, but since they use the benefit of a storm, the Covenant, to make their surprise attack, all of them are going to be in low level strike because they would have been detected otherwise. And the last unit. And finally, on the third line, there is a little unit of Pitus, which will send some SRS to do some recon and also help with the particle cannons. Very, of course. Always good. Alright, and last thing for the Covenant, they also have, as a little reinforcement from the Praetorian Guard, a little Ketos. Yes, they are Ketos. Yeah, we can teleport. It's just because we had some reinforcements, so I gave some additional reinforcements. And talking about reinforcements for the Covenant, one specific thing, they have about 1800 points, a little bit more with the Ketos now. Their thing is like there will be more than 2000 points coming over the turns of the defenders. However, if they can manage to take those Ross stations
in a boarding action, so kind of triggering the strategic asset rule. Then there will be a unit coming from Turbo Encabulation Drive, so they will just plant a little teleport homer, and they will bring some reinforcement from far away to help them. So this time the reinforcements will be like some surface or submerged units. So that is the way of the Covenant to get some reinforcements. So Zongo, what do you play? And just a little reminder, thank you Zongo, because we're playing at your home.
You're welcome. Well, I'm playing Crown, as you can see. I have a unit of Saber command cruisers escorted with an Albion regular cruiser. They all bring what's they called? Majestic gun turrets. So it's 6 majestic gun turrets for the whole squadron. So yeah, I hope it brings some heavy firepower. I have.
Yes. Everybody wonders what is it.
Well, this is the thing. It is a Windsor battle castle.
Because there are rules now for this thing.
Yeah, I've been owning this model for 6 or 7 years. I can't remember, and I've never played it. So it's the first time I'm playing it, and I'm really glad. I hope it will not be destroyed on the first turn.
Oh, but
And
I think not.
well, hopefully
It is tough.
We'll have fun with this. And I also have 3 Pride In with gun batteries.
Yeah.
So yeah, more anti-air units.
Or anti-skimming at this time.
Anti-skimming in this occurrence. And last but not least, our American friends provide us with, I don't even know what it is, 4 frigates, I think?
Yeah,
Is that called Farragut frigates?
Those are Springfields, so they are not so efficient, but they give some defenses. So maybe this Ross defense platform will survive a little bit longer from the boarding that the Covenant will try to do to get some reinforcements.
Yeah, we need to point out the point of that. We have 4 Ross platforms.
Yeah. So they're a little bit bigger than they're supposed to, but they each of them have 6 hull points, some defenses, they have heavy escort, and they each have a heavy gun battery. And that is going to be it. The reinforcements, both for the Covenant and for the Union, are a little bit of a surprise. We will see, but obviously first units of the Union to arrive will be the fastest one, and the heavier one will arrive little by little over the turns. The Crown actually has the initiative. So let's start with that. And first activation of the Crown is actually going to be for the Union. So the little Springfields deployed there. Since they are in low level strike, there is going to be a possibility to do a light broadsides on those guys. And then the gun batteries are going to go on this little Adamski, no, it's Walter there. Which is a little bit lighter. Or actually, no, I'm gonna shoot on the Onebu, which is the more threatening one. So it's going to be the light broadside 13 dices, -1 for the shield generator. And obviously, I declared give them hell because I don't think they will survive enough to get problems from disorders. Putain, I think it's dead already. No need for any additional roll. It's already dead. It had Citadel 11. Alright, shooting on the Onebu. This time I have more dices, but he has a shield 3, so I'm only gonna roll 11 dices. Let's get rolling for this. Still devastating. Only 1 devastating. Another devastating. Better. So 14 hits and -0 from the Luminiferous defense means it's 2 hull point on this Onebu and a little critical. And no more shield generator. Good. The Covenant have a special rule where they can transform a shield offline into a point of damage, which is what they will do right now. Oh no, it's sorry, it's not into a damage. It's into this little Sturgium flare. So it's going forward. So it takes another point of damage. So it can be 3 points of damage, but at least it still has its shield generator, which is very important. First activation of the Covenant was deploying here the little token for the Submarauder, so probably aiming either here or this platform there. And now the Crown activates this platform, which is quite exposed, shooting on this Onebu. It has armor 6 and we have 6 dices because -3 from the shield generator, but who knows, it might be enough to cripple him. Oops. Ouais, ben c'est même pas la peine de faire no need for Luminiferous defense. Okay, good activation. Alright, activation of the Covenant. The two Honebus are charging through, and the poor guys inside the frigates are quite scared, and I think they are right to be. I will make all the shooting there because there is X-ray battery banks, broadsides everywhere, some bombs. No, the bombs are in the rear arc, so they will not be able to shoot yet. But yeah, there is heavy particle cannons as well. We'll shoot all of this and see if anybody is still alive at the end. Okay, we're just making a little pause during all the attacks to show the rolls. The platform was like atomized by some broadsides and the X-ray banks, and then a poor little Springfield frigate got a single X-ray as well, and just want to share how dead it is. Like, this is so one-sided. This is like Independence Day all over again. And we interrupt again our shooting because the two heavy particle cannons shooting on this platform here did this roll. So it was one shot, like it was pulverized by 28 hits. Poor Ross Station. Well, in the end, the Onebus did clear this area, but they did not manage to do any, to kill the Springfields in a boarding action. So they're still there. However, that's two stations down from the shooting. So it means two less chances to get reinforcements for the Covenant. Couple activations happened. This station shot doing absolutely nothing. Then the Thule activated, sending some SRS there to handle the Springfields and sending some there. He did some shooting on the Springfield here, destroying one frigate, and now heavy particle cannon on this platform. I am filming this one because he's been doing very good rolls, so let's see how it happens.
Plus 3, 9 already,
10.
10.
Going to be just 2 hull points and 1 critical damage.
And it is it is considered as a catastrophic explosion now on the built units, so it takes 4 and 1 stress.
Little explanation, it was indeed, it was supposed to be Sturginium flare that makes a catastrophic explosion, so he got a generator offline, so he is not at all almost dead. He has 1 wound more before being crippled, and now we have the X-rays on this platform. He's re-rolling the heavy hits because he doesn't want to kill it with his sustained. There is 9 hits, so only 1 more point of damage. It is crippled and has 3 more hull points. Alright, next activation, the Saber Command and the Albion are going to shoot on the Thule. They are just out of range with their drift of the ramming next turn of this little Ketos. They are shooting first all of the 3 majestic gun batteries, and then they will shoot their torpedoes because it is considered skimming. So with the shield generator, it's 17 dices.
17.
With Giant Slayer, indeed. 6 explosives. Eva? Zongo wakes up.
Yeah. I'm back.
So that is 23 hits. And now we have Luminifero's defense on this little Thule. 4 dices. And -2. So 21. I think, is it double Citadel?
I don't think.
Citadel combien?
It must have more.
Ah bah oui, facile. Ok.
13, 7 armor, so it's...
Donc ça fait 3 PV.
3 PV.
So that is 3 wounds, 3 hull points. When I switch from Conquest back to, I always mix the name. 3 hull points destroyed and 1 critical, which is going to be navigation lock. Okay.
Why not?
Not bad.
Now the torpedoes, 16 dices of torpedoes going on the skimming Thule. 4 explosives and another explosive.
20.
That is another 2 damage and another critical.
3 hull points.
Critical will be -2 speed, -2 to the Citadel. It starts to be weakened. So it has lost 5 hull points, so it has 3 more.
3 more before being crippled.
Yep. Alright, next activations. These little Euclids charged forward, not shooting because he wants to be able to board this station, and he would probably kill it if it shot. That's a little funny thing with strategic assets, like you don't want to kill them, you want to board them, but then you're not sure you're gonna win the boarding. It's interesting. Now we activate the Windsor. Once, for the first time, we will see what it does. It shoots on this Honebu there that, since it is skimming, is going to be obscured. We don't see the whole of it. from the center. He uses the shells that give him sustained and declared heavy firepower. 24 dices, -3 for the shield generator. 21 dices, sustained. But pas mal. Sustained. Okay, 22 hits. It does not get Luminiferous defense because it's not a gunnery weapon or broadside. So that is 22 hits. It's twice the Citadel. They're armor 6 now, so it's going to be 3 hull points, +2, 5, and the critical, which is going to be... So he does get this generator outline. He does not convert it into Engineer Flare. It would be too weak otherwise, like almost dead. And he is still very much weakened. Next activation, the Pridanes are coming closer. They're shooting their heavy gun batteries on this Onebu.
Oops.
Eh ben, not a great roll. He's using sustained to make some additional roll with this card that we nerf a little bit. But do note that you're not supposed to do sustained after you start rolling explosives. But we allow it. Because it's Zongo.
Et ben voilà, ça marche pas.
Et ben voilà. Greed, this is karma. Luminiferous doesn't work when you are crippled. He tried to use a card to repair at 47, and with thanks to the Fortunes of War of the Saber, we countered at 51. Might be difficult for initiative next turn, but we don't care. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be British that die, so it's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Ah bah better roll. Ah bah much better. Torpedoes are good.
Bah voilà,
Putain.
je m'arrête là.
SDV of 3 because so -2 because we said all the skimming gets +3, like if they had the
15.
skimming generator at least. 13 hits, 1 critical, which is going to be no more defenses. So no more Luminiferous defenses, but anyway it's crippled. Okay, we made a few activations actually without film because nothing much happened. There was mostly positioning. First of all, the first wave of American reinforcements arrived. 2 units of Patriots. So 1 pack here, 1 pack there. All of the American reinforcements are from the Pipeworks Battlefleet because they have the technology of the Task Force Mordred that was recovered at the last battle report, and now they have good electrocannons. So all of them are going to have electrocannons. Those guys are in escort around the Pridanes. They have absolutely not corvette duty or anything, but it's just like it looks good like this. And those guys are packed, and they could not shoot anything this turn, but next turn they might do some damage. They are all of them, the Patriots, in low level strikes because only the British engineering is strong enough to fly under this rain. There was some movement there as well, and as you can see, the air attacks obliterated obviously the Springfields, and here this platform has 1 wound left. So it will be easy for them to try to board them next turn to start to get some reinforcements. Beginning of second turn, the Covenant has the initiative, but we know what they're gonna do. This guy is gonna pop out. Alright, beginning of the first turn, of course the little Ketos arrived. He tried to use a card to do a ramming, but that was countered thanks to the Fortunes of War of these little guys. The shooting of the Sturginium Agitator in Cripple did not do much. And now the Ventrod Atom Smashers are much more powerful. He used 4 Guardian points, so it's only gonna be 3 dices, but piercing and full reroll. Everything gets rerolled. Eh ben, reroll. Eh ben, efficient. 2 explosives.
Non, 1.
Okay, so that is 6, exactly 1 hull point of damage, and it's piercing, so 1 critical, maybe an explosion. 4 explosion! Eh ben, wait, of course, it's always when it's like this that everybody gets damaged.
Oui, bon ça.
Alright, something quite intense happened. He tried to make a double activation here, so his first activation would be the Thule, so he can use his heavy particle cannon and everything here before he's crippled, because he has 3 wounds left, hull points left. And we had to burn our own double activation and another card to be able to cancel this, to make sure that this unit of Saber can actually try and shoot on the Thule before it activates. He bets everything, hoping that he will cripple the Thule before it activates. Will it work? We don't know, but at least he's gonna try, and he's gonna make a ramming, I guess, on the way. So let's make the ramming first of all, and we'll see for the big shooting on the Thule, will they manage to cripple it or not? Okay, so actually we made a little mistake. The next activation would not be the Fool, but the Adamski, but still very dangerous because they would be able to do quite some damage here. So we keep this order. Activation, as we said, of the Saber. He made a little formation here because there was an impact there. All the majestic gun batteries are going in the Thule, obviously. We're gonna watch the result now. Torpedoes are gonna go on the big, I think this is Valtar, all the way in the back. Two broadsides on these Ketos, two small gun batteries also on the Ketos, and we'll see all of this. The one that we will film is the Thule, because will it get crippled or not is gonna be very important to see. That is 35 dices, so quite a lot, -3, so 32. No specific thing, except it will be intercepted by the Luminiferous defense. First, 32 dices with Giant Slayer.
Yeah.
Giant Slayer. 6 criticals, making another two criticals. Okay, let's see the ADV of the Luminiferous defenses. -2. Okay, end of the activation. The Thule is crippled indeed, and there was a little explosion as well. Torpedoes there did also a critical, and it was a Sturginium flare. So this guy lost 3 hull points. He has 3 left before he's crippled. We played them wrong at the beginning. They don't have 4 hull points, but 6. So that's why we gave them some hull points back between the 2 turns. Here, very not so great roll of all the Sabres. 1 hull point from broadsides, nothing from the gun batteries, and 1 hull point from a boarding. That was disappointing. That's it for the Sabre. Now to the Covenant and the Adamskis. Okay, activation of the Adamskis. They came very close because they teleported with the interface here, then moved with low-level strike doubling the drift. They come very close. What they're gonna do, there's gonna be etheric broadside here, etheric broadside there, and then the 2 X-ray laser banks are going to which Saber? This guy here. Okay, so that's going to be a lot of shooting, but since they made their little interface teleportation, it's gonna be crippled. We're gonna make all the little shootings and see at the end what is left. So the end of the activation of the Adamski, they shot a little bit everywhere, doing a few damages here and there, nothing much. The boarding on this guy fell, like both of them took a point of disorder. And this guy took a critical though, and that is it for the Adamski. They are quite neutered when they shoot at their crippled value. Next activation of the Crown, they are coming here to try to weaken all these heavy particulate cannons, at least to try to cripple some of them before they get too much lines of fire. So the shooting of the these little guys, the little Trident, they one-shot this. No, he was damaged. They killed this Valtar. He had 3 hull points left, and they did 5 from the damage and 2 from the catastrophic explosion. So that was a very good shooting. And then they did 17 hits on this little Thule. So 2 hull points because it is in low-level strike. He has a little bit more armor, and a critical. And the thing is, he has 1 hull point left, and he might die outright the Thule before activating from this. Let's have a look what the critical will be.
Je dirais quelque chose après.
Oh no, no, he survives.
Ouais, mais
Got the only result that would not kill him, and the Thule is not in a good shape, but he's alive at 1 hull point left. Wow. I think he's gonna activate the Pythios next. Okay, activation at last of the Thule, who has 1 hull point left. So a few things. First of all, he put all the SRS there to combo with the heavy particle cannon. Since this guy is the only aerial units, he could not shoot at them with the etheric broadside or X-ray, etc. So he shoots everything. There is the slightest line of sight here between the center of this miniature and the back of this one. So he shoots everything there. He shoots with his heavy particle a little bit in the back, obviously. -4 for the Guardian Generator for the heavy particle cannons, but +6 because he uses 3 SRS token to boost this capacity. It's not even a Valor effect, it can just do it outright. Now that he's gonna roll, and just one thing we just checked, I had a little doubt, it is actually a Valor effect, so he just spent a card to activate this +6 dices from the SRS token. X-rays are also gonna go there, everything. We're first gonna have a look at the heavy particle cannon. because this is the most interesting weapon that can do most of the damage, and then we'll do the rest outside of camera. 8 dices. I think it's devastating on top of that, but it is obscured because no line of sight. So no reroll, but I think that's still gonna be a damage, and it's piercing, so it should make some critical.
9 et un 10, donc c'est un point de dommage.
Ouais. 1 whole points and 2 critiques parce que t'as 2 cibles. First, let's roll on this guy on the right. Shield offline, he's not very happy about it. And this guy on the left that already has a critical. Navigation lock from what I see. No?
Navigation lock.
Yeah, navigation lock. And now we'll do all the rest of the weapons and we'll see at the end. So in the end, both the Albion and this Saber are at 1 whole point left from all the shooting. And now the important thing, the Thule is going to try to board this battle station. And if he does succeed in destroying it in the boarding, it is going to be some reinforcements coming from the teleportation armor for the Covenant. So it's going to be quite important. Let's do that. So, interesting, 9 dice sustained from the alien cohort trying to board these guys. Sustained. Oh, a little bit disappointing. Let's see if the defense roll...
8, ouais.
Yeah, 8 dice of attack.
Oh, no
way! They take their little jump packs and they go on the Thule.
Moins 12.
Right. And the Thule is going down from the Irish counter borders.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God. The bravest Irishman there.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah,
Who's messing up with the Irish?
Putain. Oh là là. I think the first time a Thule has ever been destroyed by a counterboarding from a defense platform.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, a few things happened. Those guys moved forward and shot everything on the little flying saucers, killing only 1 of them. In return, they came forward and shot down 3 of my little things. Yeah, they are more lethal. And now they did a boarding, trying to avenge the Thule that is still sinking around there. And they did this result as a boarding, quite efficient, 14 hits.
I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Will the Irish succeed?
Not enough.
No.
8.
Rerolling blank. But no. So success for the boarding. They put a little what is the name? Teleport generator, and he will roll 2 dice for reinforcements, and we will see later what it does. The higher the better. So blank and double counter, not so great. It's gonna be little mass 1 squadrons that will need to deploy around there, but might help still. Alright, so the platform is now sinking and 2 squadrons arrived. 1 squadron of Diogen and 1 squadron of Merian teleported there. So they had to be in base contact with the platform, and they are now quite well hidden, especially from the shooting of the Windsor there, who will not be able to shoot at all at any of them. You can still shoot there though. And next activation of the crown is going to be those guys that were a little bit in reserve, and they are still a little bit far for those flying saucers, but they might be able to come closer here and try to shoot at point blank. Let's see if it is successful. Alright, activation of the Patriots. They shot 14 dice with sharpshooter and sustained on the first guy, doing 6 hits. 14 dice sustained 6 hits, okay. They did not manage to kill him, only 1 whole point of damage. And then the second roll was better. I did like something like 10 hits, and thanks to sharpshooter, he was killed outright. That's it for the Patriots. I'm a little bit underwhelmed for their performance, but such is the life. And now it's going to be the turn of the Covenant. Okay, next activations. First of all, the Praxillas went here with their pulse broadside. They killed one of my Patriots. They're really underwhelming this game, the Patriots. Now, the Windsor activated. First of all, it pivoted to be like this. So his firing angle is going to be quite efficient. His twin cannons are going to link everything on the Onebu there. It's going to be a blast. So he's going to hoping to kill this little one as well. He has 3 wounds left. So we might kill him outright. Let's see if it works. 1 broadside here on this guy and gun battery. 1 broadside and gun batteries. No, sorry, gun batteries there. Broadside here, and the last broadside on the left on the Diogen there.
That is going to be it. It's a beacon battery on the Diogène, by the way. What we're gonna do is first we're gonna film the blast on the Onebu, which is the important one, and the rest we'll do it outside of the camera. So Onebu 19 dices without heavy firepower, right? No firepower, no heavy firepower.
on peut le faire, on peut.
And indeed,
It's
it's my
24 dice.
better to try to kill the Onebu, which has still 3 wounds, 3 hull points left. So plus 5 dice from heavy firepower. That is the question. He has no shield generator, as you can see. Yeah, he's dead. And okay, does he explode?
Eh ben, je suis obligé de celui-là.
Explosion! And the other guy is gonna be crippled.
Lui, ouais, ils sont tous.
But that was a good blast. That was a very good blast. One less heavy particle cannon, and this particle will be crippled. Okay, we'll do the rest of the shooting here. He has 10,000 little weapons, and we'll see if he did manage to kill anyone here. Yeah, not so great roll. He did 1 whole point on the Ketos. No, not even on the Ketos. He did 1 whole point on the Adamski there, and 1 on the Diogène there. And that's it with all the little shooting. A little bit disappointing, but that was a great blast, so we are happy of the activation of the Windsor. Activation now of the Diogenes, who are right here. Pulse Broadside did 1 wound here, 1 wound there, and killed this Patriot outright. And now 14 dices sustained on the Ross defense platform, who is gonna have 7 SDV because of heavy escort and being in an attached unit. First 14 dices sustained.
Okay.
This was the sustained, and now the
5
explosive.
explosive.
He's always running out of dices.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, 7 dices, let's hope it's a good roll.
Okay.
It's fine,
Okay.
minus
Not
4.
bad, not bad.
And in the end, he did an explosion here, so 2 wounds left on the Ross there, and the Windsor got also its first whole point of damage from the game. And I think it's gonna be turn now for the American cavalry to arrive. And who answered the call? None other than the dead presidents. So those are gonna be the dead presidents from the pipeworks. So they're gonna have heavy electro cannons, heavy broadsides, shield generator, they have everything, and they are coming charging down. They're gonna shoot at crippled this turn, but it still should do quite a lot. So what are they going to do? They're going to put some broadsides here, like heavy broadsides. Also, 2 heavy electro cannons are going there. It's going to be sustained. 4 heavy electro cannons are going there because I'm crippled, so I want to make sure everything goes good. 1 heavy broadside there. Some heavy broadsides here going on this guy. And the torpedoes are going in the Praxillas. So we will do all the attacks outside of the camera, and we will see if I do manage to kill some of those units. Alright, in the end, even though they were crippled, they did manage to do quite a lot. They finished this little guy off with some broadside electro cannon and the magazine explosion of this guy that damaged everyone around. I split quite a lot all the attacks, 6 different attacks, so 2 there and 4 there, and I did manage little by little to cripple this little guy. Torpedoes did 2 damage there, unfortunately, not enough, and the broadside kill 1 of the Diogène that had 1 whole point left there. No boarding because they are skimming and surface cannot board the skimming units. That is going to be it for the defenders, and now more Covenant are charging in. End of turn 2. As you can see, we are quite oppressed by the onslaught of the Covenant. We did a couple more activations. Those guys came forward doing not much, like killing these guys and making some criticals there with piercing, but that is about it. This guy being crippled did almost nothing, and this guy did all the work. Some more attacks here. The SRS did nothing, neither here, neither there. And that is going to be it. We are now making the initiative. Both players have only 1 card left. So this is... Vas-y. 60, okay? Initiative for the initiative for the Covenant. Yeah, 57 and 60. It's hard to beat this for initiatives. So they will play first. Now our reinforcements can shoot at full capacity, and at the end of the turn, is that the Mexico that we see far away? Maybe. Let's see if we survive until then. So the first activation of the Covenant is going to be the Adamski. They need reinforcements, so they are going to try to board this little platform there. There's going to be some broadsides here, broadside there, and broadside on this guy. And then both of the X-rays are going to be on this poor dead president. Talk about kicking a dead horse. We'll make all the attacks out because it's a lot of small little attacks, and we will see for the boarding. Without much surprise, this little guy died, one wound, one hull point there, and between the broadside doing 1 and the X-ray doing 3 plus a critical, this poor dead president has only 1 hull point left. So that is tough. And now there's going to be the boarding. They have 15 dice in defense and 7 dice of attack.
6 even.
Okay, so there, yeah, because crippled, one of them. Difficult, but he needs this reinforcements. Alien Court?
Nope.
So only 2 explosives. Another explosive. Another. 8.
Little bit short.
Yeah, we'll see how it rolls. It can break on the other side. Right. Oh, it's a counterboarding. Because of what? Wait, counterboarding. He had to try, but it did not pay off yet. He goes to the red level of disorder and he loses a hull point. And now, activation of the dead presidents who will be able to use their full firepower for the first time. 2 heavy broadside on this guy to try to finish him off. 1 heavy broadside here because this guy is too far. Torpedoes, 2 on this guy, 1 on this guy. And especially all the heavy electro cannons that are sustained and arced, so they ignore the shields, are going to link on this guy in 2 attacks. We will make both of them and see how it goes, and the rest of the attack will be out of camera. At a first salvo of 18 dices, ignoring the shield because of arc, sustained. He already made his Luminiferous defense, removing nothing. I have sustained 8 explosives, another 3 explosives, and that's it. He has 1 wound left and a critical, which is gonna be magazine explosion.
No.
And they are not in the same squadron, so my second attack is lost. Though I have to say, with 18 dices sustained, I did 34 hits. I don't think that is what the statistics is. Alright, end of the activation of the dead presidents. They did kill with torpedoes 1 guy, did some damage here. They broadside obliterated this guy here and killed the, not killed, but damaged a little bit this one here. And of course, they slaughtered this Velta that was all the way in the back. And we have a card for double activation, which means that now it's the turn of the Windsor. I'm afraid that this is going to be it for those little guy. Okay, activation now thus of the Windsor is going to make a big blast here, hitting those 3 saucers and this Praxilla. Wait, I think they're all dead. That's it. They're already dead. So those 4 guys are gone. That was a very powerful double activation, and we will see what happens after all the small shooting. Alright, the Windsor kept shooting, making a little bit more cleaning. Only 1 guy here who is starting to panic. Then those little saucers came here, destroyed 1 of the Patriot, and they tried to destroy this little platform here, being like, yeah, whatever, let's destroy it. But it was not enough. It still has 1 hull point left. So it starts to be quite tough. Will this platform survive? We don't know yet, but now the Pride Ends are gonna charge in and try to show us the heavy firepower that they've shown us against the Sultanate last time. Alright, we made some more activations. This guy wiped out the last Velta, or anybody that was there, wiped out the Diogen. The Patriot tried to shoot on the Praxilla, doing only 1 hull point of damage because my Patriots are not in a good shape this game. That is almost it. Last activation is going to be the Praxilla, who is trying to cripple the dead president with its ramming attack. So 12 hits, piercing, Azardus, for this ramming action. It's piercing, so it's going to be 2 dices of critical. 2 criticals, which is going to be...
Explosion.
Oui, magazine explosion, and no more defenses. So magazine explosion, it kills himself in the magazine explosion.
I can't even use my first broadside to...
Yeah, no, but yeah, you can. Well, bad luck for him, because the movement happens before shooting, so he's already dead before he can activate his pulse broadside.
Yes.
So that's it, but he did cripple one of the dead president. Well done, little Praxilla. Alright, we are not yet at the end of turn 3. We had the little Mexico in reserve that didn't get to come here, but basically it's fairly done. We did resolve this to see if the platform would be destroyed. It was destroyed indeed. And all the platforms were destroyed. Only one of them was converted into reinforcements. And those guys are dead if we come with the Mexico. So only 2 flying saucers survive, or maybe 1, depends on the torpedoes. But there is at least 1 survivor that flies off in the horizon to warn of this defeat. It was a diversionary attack from the Covenant. And unfortunately for them, since they did not survive quite long, like they were basically not a threat by the middle of turn 3, the diversion was not a success. So for the little maneuver that they tried to do, they will unfortunately not benefit a lot from the effect of surprise. We'll see this in a later battle. That's it. Victory for the Alliance of the Crown and the Task Force Mordred. Defeat for the Covenant, and we'll go for the debriefing.
Alright, that's it for this game. As we said, victory for the defenders. We hope you enjoyed this video. First we'll talk a little bit about the list. As you've seen, it was very much not balanced system with this big wave of attackers and then little by little some reinforcements. What do you think of the game? The guy that plays at home, Zongo, what do you think of the game?
Well,
the list?
really pleasant game with quite a cinematic scenario. And you know, this wave
He
of
likes
attackers.
narrative
I
scenarios.
like narrative scenarios. So this wave of attackers that get into my lines and just defenders pouring little by little some reinforcements.
Yeah, it was fun.
So yeah, it was fun. Well, as for the Crown units, well, I enjoyed playing the Windsor castle.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's very powerful because since it's immobile.
Yeah, you can really hide behind the islands.
So yeah, it was fun, but I'm not sure it's super powerful.
Maybe against the aliens, since they cannot hide.
Yeah, probably. I really liked the cyber units with attached aliens, and all of them got majestic interest. Really getting giant slayers helps the unit, which tended to struggle by before that.
Which means that the Lord's Hood, who don't get this, are a little not as interesting.
Well,
But yeah, it was just about the scenario. I really liked indeed. We had this layered defense, as you've seen, and really the Covenant just went punching through, and all the first and second line died very fast. And there was really a fight on the last line of defense while the defenders could come. It was quite cinematic, what was called. What did you think of the Covenant? A full aerial list, as you've seen. What did you think? How did it play?
Well, it was quite interesting. This subfaction of the Covenant is quite fragile, but yet when it comes to range, since it's mostly effective at point blank, it is quite devastating. But unfortunately, on this scenario, most of the units have been destroyed before they can reach that short range, meaning that we didn't see that much power from their side. But still interesting scenario. I would play a different subfaction of the Covenant if I had to replay it. Maybe more with Hypatia, maybe more with Descartes, or over Nelson Explorer, or maybe some Archimedes. But full iron is quite fragile and is more meant to be put into reserves for common games. It is not that effective at fighting head-to-head with the enemies, much like the rest of the faction.
Yeah, we've seen that the first time we tried these ships. We were like, okay, they don't have great armor, but they have luminiferous defense and shield. Like, how does it handle itself on the table? And the answer is like, not so good, not so well. We played them as a skimming, giving them a little bit more armor, but they did get the torpedoes. I'm not sure if it was more of a benefit or not. The armor did help them a lot, but also they did suffer from torpedoes. So I don't know, I guess it balanced itself a little bit. But indeed, they are very fragile, as we've seen. And when you start to shoot at them with quite dedicated weapons, they do melt fast. Some of them were really underwhelming. The Adamski especially, when it teleports, it does one whole point here and there, not so great. The Onebu, which is more expensive, yes, but has all the weapons, is great. Especially the middle one, the Velta, without the bombs, but with the heavy particle cannons, I think it might be the best middle ground
probably.
because it
Probably.
allows you to do some damage while you arrive, and then you arrive point blank, and it's great. And you don't need the bombs that much because you will not survive long enough usually to go behind the enemy and use the bombs. And in reserve, of course, is good. But yeah, we were talking about this before about the Covenant, that they don't have many ships to hold the line. They don't have a huge like Borodino or Akita or I don't know Gloriana or these kind of ships. So it's a little bit difficult for them to hold the center of the table, and the Fool is not the ship you want to hold the center for sure.
So that's where the mercenary can come along, especially Black Wolves, since they can bring many very resilient cruisers to the center of line for the Covenant player. Maybe something to try in a more competitive series. Unfortunately, with this narrative scenario, they don't mix so well.
Yeah, it would be weird to have something. Well, you can always mix in narrative scenario to say like, okay.
Yeah, it can be explained within campaign.
Yeah, so there is some mercenaries and stuff. So yeah, it can work maybe for another time. For my list, so the Union, well, not much. As you've seen, the Patriots were extremely underwhelming. Like they did nothing all the time. It was also the dice rolls I explained, but really not so great. They really want to be at point blank as well, and they didn't really reach it, and even when they did, it was quite underwhelming. The fact that they don't have Give Them Hell makes them quite a bit weaker than other Union ships. And the good surprise was the Dead Presidents. We saw them not at their full power because they arrived turn 2 and they shot at crippled, so not so great. But if you've seen, they are extremely powerful. They are more than 500 points, all of them, but they have shield, they have 6 full points before they go to crippled. Veteran repair crew, they have a lot of things back hunters that I forgot actually. Lots of great rules. Heavy electrocannons are great even at long range and amazing at point blank. And they also have Shadow Hunter. So if you play them normally on the table turn 1, you can really put them on the flank, be a huge threat because those guys do pack a punch, and then you can redeploy them somewhere else. So you can really put a lot of pressure where the opponent does not expect you. So they're really great. We didn't get to see them in Mexico, but as you've seen, it's still quite good. It really benefits as well the Mexico from the boost of the heavy electrocannons. So also a good ship to use. But between the two, I would play both, like a Pipework fleet, one Mexico Dead Presidents. I think it's almost 1,000 points, and it's already quite good if you want to try this. All right. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give us a like and to put a comment. It helps the channel to be seen by more people, and you gain a chance to win either an alliance or a crown Battlefleet. So why not to try? Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed, and until the next video, remember to keep spreading the love all around. Bye!